Hey guys, it's been a while, but here I am.
Hello there.
So, really random question, but are you by any chance considering a degree in veterinary medicine here in the Philippines? For starters, I just want to say thanks for considering veterinary medicine if you are, because it's a very rewarding career path with a lot of opportunities to grow and develop yourself as an individual. But it's also a very challenging one, with each opportunity challenging you and pushing you out of your comfort zone. So, before you choose to become a veterinarian, make sure you're ready to commit at least 6 years of your life and consider the next things I'm going to be stating, which is the 5 things you need to consider before taking the veterinary program. So, with that said, let's start with topic number 1. Consideration number 1, cost. So this might have been a no-brainer, but cost is an issue here because you really have to consider cost for 6 years. So what do I mean by cost? No, I don't just mean tuition fee, duh. But obviously there are also a few things you'll have to consider aside from tuition fee. And if you're studying in a state university like University of the Philippines Los Baños, Cavite State University, or any state university that provides veterinary medicine, you don't actually have to worry about tuition fee because it's free.
What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free. Free!
Checkmate. Private schools. Aside from the tuition fee, you also have to consider a few things like payment for books, payment for lab manuals, payment for food, payment for living near the university, assuming that you don't even live near where you study. So that for my case, I live in San Juan, but I actually study in Los Baños. So I have to worry about the cost of living in Los Baños and coming back and forth from my hometown to the city. So aside from that, you also have to worry about the cost of food and the cost of transportation. So generally, it may be very negligible on your first few years, but the years do add up, and that becomes a burden over time because cost does just essentially add up, especially now that we're in the golden age.
It's the golden age.
So that's an issue, and that's a consideration you need to make personally before you jump into vet med. Can you afford the cost of studying veterinary medicine? Because it doesn't just include the tuition fee. It also includes the stuff that you need to pay for to study veterinary medicine. Alright, now that that's noted, let's move on to consideration number 2. Consideration number 2, are you willing to commit your time for the program? So, of course, I already stated it in the intro, but it can at least take you 6 years to complete the degree. And that's not just for freshmen or people coming out of high school, but it is also for people who are in second degree that didn't meet the requirements of vet med.
What the fuck?
That's essentially if you didn't have a chemistry or a higher chemistry subject like organic chemistry or biochemistry. Those are things that are essential to continue into vet med. So if you don't have those, our college, for example, will require you to take those in UPLB. So essentially, it could take you at least 1 to 2 extra years on top of the 4 if you were a second degree. And yeah, that's essentially the time you're going to have to commit studying, developing yourself to become a very capable veterinarian once you graduate. And the next thing you have to consider is by the 4th year, your peers are already going to be graduating and you're still here in vet school. Like, college isn't a race and developing yourself takes time. For vet med, it takes 6. So just be sure that you're willing to commit the time and money and effort to developing yourself as a veterinarian so that once you graduate, you're capable and you're confident that any patient that comes in, you're going to be able to treat. So yeah, that's consideration number 2. How much time are you willing to commit? Alright, next consideration is how well do you respond to failure? So, one thing you should know is that failure is very commonplace here in veterinary medicine, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because my prof once said that you have to be able to make the mistakes now while you're still learning to become a vet because you don't have that privilege when you're already licensed. And that actually hit me because I realized that it's not about the grades, it's not about how high I perform. That's just the effect of how well I learn from my mistakes. So you have to consider how capable are you of handling your mistakes. How well do you manage the mistakes that you make? Do you learn from it? Do you get emotional about it? These things are essentially parts where you're going to have to learn, and you have to be grateful about the mistakes you're going to make.
Cool, then into the mouth. Nice.
Same. Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth. Nice. Till it's cool, just cool, into the mouth.
Nice.
Because these are essentially mistakes that you hopefully shouldn't make when you're already a licensed veterinarian. And that's just how people learn, right? We make mistakes, we do better next time. So yeah, consideration number 3. How capable are you of responding positively to failures? Alright, consideration number 4. How well can you manage your time efficiently? So, what I mean by this is, how capable are you of disciplining yourself to set a certain amount of time to study, and how capable are you of setting priorities for different subjects? Because your performance in vet school is essentially dictated by how disciplined and how capable you are of setting your priorities for different types of subjects and adapting and adjusting to the different schedules that veterinary medicine demands. Because it's a very demanding schedule, especially when you get into your later years, wherein there are times that you will have exams in the hospital, which is a few kilometers away from the basic building of veterinary medicine. Additionally, there are also times where exams are stacked up on each other, and you can only do well in each of these exams on those same days if you managed your time efficiently and adjusted your schedule effectively such that you could still perform well in all 3 exams, all 4 exams on the same day. So yeah, though, full disclaimer, just because you're not responsible or not disciplined right now does not mean that when you get into veterinary medicine, you won't be disciplined or you won't be responsible during that time. Because you're a human being. You can still develop yourself, you can still do better. The question is how capable or how disciplined you are in developing those skills so that you perform well in vet school. Alright, consideration number 5, last consideration you need to make before going into vet school. So consideration number 5 is essentially just saying, what is your deepest why? Because essentially your deepest why is what keeps you motivated throughout this program. Despite all the failures you're going to be making, despite all the tears you're going to be making, despite everything that stress that VetMed has, what is your deepest why? Because I want you to know that your deepest why is going to be the reason that you're going to pursue and you're going to be pushing through those 6 years of vet school. And let me just say, if your deepest why is just, I like animals, then I may have to ask you to reconsider vet school. Because it is far more serious than just liking animals. Because vet school is, to be quite frank, brutal. You have to consider how or what's going to move you during those really tough times. Like, what's going to get you moving through the days where you just feel like you can't keep going. And I want you to consider that because that's what's going to keep you pushing through vet school. It's those things that really keep someone in the program. It's what develops the grit that someone needs to get through any program. So yeah, last thing you need to consider is, what is your deepest why for pursuing veterinary medicine? Hey guys, it's Future Jose from Post Editing, and I actually thought of one more consideration that I wanted to give you guys. So if you made it this far into the video, well, consider this as your bonus tip. So, one more consideration I want you guys to consider is that when you come into veterinary medicine, it's not always the cute things that you're going to see. Like, you see, like, in the clinics, you'll probably think that, oh, I get to see this veterinarian handle a lot of cute animals during their day. But that's only half of the battle that they face. Actually, probably 1/4 of the battle that they face. Because as a veterinary student, the college or the university that's trying to train you to become a veterinarian doesn't just immerse you in small animals, nor does it actually just immerse you in the cute stuff, because that's only part of it. And it actually immerses you in a lot of pretty messy stuff. And I don't want people to come in thinking that they're gonna be just handling cute animals when they go into vet school, because that's not anything close to vet school. Because vet school wants to prepare you for the hard stuff in vet med or when you're a veterinarian. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to be quite messy when you're doing it for your first time, because a lot of the things you're going to be doing in vet med may be your first time, assuming that you don't have any background in veterinary medicine, or you don't have any parents or family members or anyone who has introduced you into vet med. It's just think of it that way. If you can consider, or if you think that you can handle that kind of experience or lifestyle or the things I just noted regarding this consideration, then maybe, just maybe, you'll be a great vet one day. You can do it! That's just what I wanted to say. And with that said, that's it. That's the 5 considerations you probably need to make before jumping into vet school. So if you made it this far into the video, I just want to say huge thank you, because wow, you're here. But I hope that I helped you develop an informed decision before jumping into veterinary medicine, especially because veterinary medicine is a 6-year course, and that's a substantial amount of time. So having an informed decision about something like that matters a lot. And plus, it develops less regrets when you're down the road. So I hope this helped. So if you liked the video and you found the information really helpful, feel free to like and subscribe.
Sarap pagka-ride.
You can subscribe by clicking the big red button down there below, because there's not much on the channel yet, but I do plan to post more videos about vet med and lifestyle together. So if that sounds interesting, it's just down there. Additionally, if you have any more questions, feedbacks, or comments about the video, I will try to read them in the comment section down below. So yeah, with that said, this has been JLG, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.